A 17-year-old boy shackled in 2 sets of chains, a courtroom gasps, and a mother pleads for mercy. What followed shocked everyone. This isn't just a bond hearing. This is a fight for freedom, family, and justice in one of San Antonio's most gripping courtroom dramas.
Well, I mean, you want to talk to the deputies why that is case? Deputy Laura, he wants to know why his client is in 2 sets of chains.
Jail never ceases to amaze me.
The wonders never cease. That's what happens. All right, court is calling 2025 CR 006058A, State versus Dorian Camaro. Could I have parties announced?
I think I'll wait for the state.
Notice cards for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Camaro?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so this is actually set on the docket for July 24th, but your attorney is here and you're asking for bond reduction, correct?
That's correct.
All right, and the court will note for the record, you are actually due to be here on June 9th, but jail transportation, the bus was inoperable, so that's why you were not brought here on that date. So you are here for this date. And to the clerks, do double check. I've already signed investigation motion, but I have another one. So if you could just check to see if you all have it or I need to sign another one.
Yes.
All right, State, are you ready to proceed on the motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cox, you may proceed.
All right, Judge, I called. Well, I had the court to take judicial notice that the bond in this case is set at $500,000.
Okay.
Be part of the bond. And I call Erica Murillo. Please. Fine. Maria, it's fine, your number Wayne. So Lawrence.
Hey, I'm with you. Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up because the court reporter has to hear. Off the record for Cindy, do you want to give her one of those little microphones that may help you?
Oh, here, you can put this one. No, you could just step up closer to the mic also.
Yeah. There you go. All right. All right, if you'll state your name for the record.
Yes, ma'am. It's Erica Murillo.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Great, thanks. And ma'am, Dorian Camaro.
Camarillo.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom? Is he in the courtroom with us? Your son?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. In your relationship, you're his mom, right?
Yes.
Okay, man. In terms of, do you live in San Antonio?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you lived in San Antonio?
Going to 3 years now.
And presently, you live in a house or apartment?
When we used to live in Dallas, a house.
Okay, but here you live in an apartment now or?
A house.
A house, okay. And who lives in that, who normally live in that house with you?
My son, my daughter, and myself, and my
Okay.
pets.
Now, in terms of your son, Dorian, how old is he?
Dorian, he's 17.
17 years old?
Yeah.
Is he a high school student?
Yes.
What school does he?
Reading high school.
And
All right, just 1 second, off the record. Now, he's already on it. Sorry, Mr. Cox, we were just cleaning up the matter. Mr. Cox, you may continue.
all right. Okay. And your son is you indicate that he's in high school, correct?
Correct.
And is a Reagan High School,
Yes, sir.
and that high school is in San Antonio.
Correct.
And what grade is he?
11.
Second grade. So you anticipate that he will be graduating high school next year?
2026.
Now, are you employed here in the city?
Yes, sir.
How are you employed?
FedEx. Ground.
Now, ma'am, you understand that your son filed to set at $500,000.
Yes, sir.
That's something that you could, well, we just bond set at $500,000. Can you bond it?
We have family, they can help us, yeah.
But you can't, can you make the $500,000?
No, 500,000. Maybe a little lower. That works for us, yeah.
Now, your son presently, is he presently employed?
He was, whenever the summer school, that's when he used to work.
Basically, he's a full-time student, correct?
Yes, only on summer he used to do it.
Does he have money in the bank?
No,
Does he own any property?
no,
So we basically, you, in terms of the house where he lives with you.
yes,
And you provided basically.
correct.
And you support not only him, but his sister also.
My daughter, yeah. I have a daughter. Also. And my pets.
Okay. Pass with you.
All right, state.
Ms. Murillo, you said you currently live in San Antonio, is that correct? Okay, and you said you've lived here for about 3 years, is that correct?
Yes,
And you lived in Dallas before that?
20 years.
Okay, do you still have family in Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, what does that consist of up in Dallas?
That's family.
Uh,
Dorian's dad.
that's Dorian's dad, that's lives up
The
there.
family.
Okay, and he has family up there as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and did Dorian attend school up in Dallas?
Yes.
Okay, up to what grade did he go to school up there?
We moved from Dallas to Virginia when he was 11.
Okay, and so he attended school from the time he was 11 until 3 years ago in Dallas?
No, he was born in Dallas, my son. So he went to pre-K all the way when he was 11. So then we moved to Virginia for like 3 years. And he attended school over there.
Okay.
And then we moved back to San Antonio.
Okay, so let me see if I'm following you correctly. So Dorian, your son, he was born in Dallas, is that correct?
Yeah.
And so you lived there with his father in Dallas when he was born?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you lived there for some time until Dorian was 11, is that
11.
correct? Okay, and then at that time you moved to Virginia. Okay, and so do you have family in Virginia as well?
No, that's because of daddy's job. He do a construction environment.
Okay, okay, and so did Dorian attend school in Virginia as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's fair to say he probably has friends still in Dallas and probably in Virginia,
More in Dallas. to
more
be
in
honest.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you all moved to San Antonio 3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you said that you live in a home currently, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you renting that home or do you own it?
No, we rent.
Okay. And your daughter that you also have to support, how old is she?
My daughter Sabrina, she's 15.
Okay. And so she's not working, is that correct?
No,
Now you said that you work at FedEx, is that correct? Is that full-time or part-time?
kind of like part-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your working hours?
From 3 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Okay. And what is your hourly rate that you get paid?
$20.
$20 an hour?
Mhm.
Do you get any extra compensation for working like a differential shift overnight?
No, no.
No?
Mhm.
Okay. And how many hours per week do you work?
25,
25?
27 sometimes.
Okay, at $20 per hour.
Mhm.
So you stated that have you contacted any bonding companies yet?
Yes,
Okay, about how many have you contacted?
like 2 of them.
2, okay.
already.
And you stated that you've kind of started to gather family to help you?
Yes.
Okay, and so that's a resource that you have, your family is willing to help you to make a bond, is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. That's correct.
Okay, and you stated Dorian in the summers that he used to be employed, where he used to work at?
With daddy.
Oh,
in
in the
the
construction?
Mhm.
Okay. And so, do you have a car?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you own that car?
No, I'm doing it all. with the
Okay.
daddy.
We have to listen to it.
Any further questions?
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. I'll leave with the court reporter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We rest.
All right, state any oh, you can have a seat. State any witnesses?
Witnesses, Judge, but at this time we offer State's Exhibit number 1 for the purposes of this hearing.
Any objections?
Objection, Judge, that is not evidence. They're proffering, I presented evidence. So that proffer, and this is not evidence. So I would object to it. That's grounds.
All right,
In
that,
the proper cause hearing, I think sometimes you can use hearsay, those types of things. But, for evidentiary hearing,
but also for bond reductions, correct?
Yeah.
Because the rules of evidence don't apply to bond reductions. Am I incorrect?
I think for a, well, someone, but my position that is that someone would have to be the person that they would present the evidence. Just by, I can put in a encyclopedia and say, well, just look at this.
Mhm.
Someone would need to be able to make the correct profit. I don't make the correct profit.
Okay. All right, the objection will be overruled and the court will will review State's Exhibit number 1 just for purposes of this hearing. And if y'all will step back while I read this. All right. All right, Mr. Camarillo. All right, the court has read State's Exhibit number 1. And Mr. Camarillo, the court is reading State's Exhibit number 1 really for the sole purpose of making a determination on what your bond should be set at. That will ensure the safety of the community and also ensure that you appear at court.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's what this entire hearing about. The State's Exhibit number 1 is not for me to review it in light of, does the state prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt? Because that's something where witnesses will be called and your attorney can make objections and you may have hearsay objections and other type of objections. So this is strictly for me to review that, take in consideration the testimony of your mother and decide what your bond should be set at. Do you understand? So I've reviewed the documents, I've heard the testimony, and the court will hear argument on bond requests.
This is my motion that I waive and reserve your closing.
It's so rare that defense attorneys get a chance to do that. When I see it, I like to see it. All right, State.
Judge, at this time, we're requesting that you keep the bond at 500,000. I think what came out during the testimony, well, in addition to State's Exhibit number 1 and community safety aspect of this offense, in addition to what came out in the testimony is that the defendant does not really have sufficient ties here to the community and Bear County. I believe that he's a flight risk based on the testimony that he has sufficient ties, mostly in Dallas, but also avenues in Virginia. Further, the testimony is that they have began reaching out to bond companies and have additional members of the family to help make the bond. So we believe that is set in a sufficient amount and would request that we keep it at 500,000.
All right, and Mr. Cox,
Okay.
if you don't mind, if I could take up Miss Russell's case,
Oh, that's
only
fine.
because she has to travel to take care of another client.
That's fine, yeah.
All right, a CPS client. So if you'll just have a seat, if I could see the parties on Christina Garza. You're welcome. And counsel, you're on this side. Hello. Remove glasses.
Okay.
Yeah. Court is calling 2025 CR 003866 State versus Christina Garza. Could I have parties announced?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Elizabeth Russell for Christina Garza.
And are you Christina Garza?
Yeah.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Garza, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are waiving the repeater and enhancement.
Any objection?
No objection from defense.
All right, did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand your charge of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4,200 grams, that's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
That's
I
okay.
distracted her, Judge.
That's okay. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Garza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine and state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 6 years. There be 200 hours of community service restitution, TAP evaluation, no contact with Miller Park or 2802 MLK Drive, and the moral recognition therapy course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
State any evidence?
State offer states 1 in attachment.
No objection.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge. We waive PSI.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client has been a drug addict since she was 15. She hit a rock bottom, and we've submitted evidence to you that she voluntarily submitted herself to drug treatment. She's submitted a hair follicle test as of May 2025. And if you tested her today, she would test absolutely clean for absolutely everything. That includes marijuana, that includes THC, that includes CBD. She is rebuilding her life. And she believes that she will be successful on probation because of the commitments that she has made to both herself and to her family. And she really has already seen the success of making those life changes. She is in a part-time program through which college? I'm sorry. SNHU for substance abuse counseling. And she has a full-time job, and she is on a road to reunification with her child. She fully believes that she'll be successful on probation because of the choices that she made voluntarily, and has seen your rulings in the court and the conditions that you've required of people, and know that she can be successful in this.
All right.
And we actually submitted to you with.
I have those. Yes. All right. So how old is your child?
She's 6 on the 27th.
Okay. So are you having visitation with her through CPS, or what's going on with that?
With Mary Contreras, I'm sorry, just with Mary Contreras through Blue House, they're doing reunification therapy. She has not been in her child's life since she was 6 months, mostly due to the substance abuse. Because she has been able to provide those steps and that progress, that reunification therapy has started. She has one scheduled for today that she would really like to make. And she has shown that progress to the courts, and I think that is why they're giving her that opportunity.
All right. And so who has the child been living with prior to this?
Her father's mother.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing about that. And I'm glad they're doing reunification therapy with you, because sometimes people want to come in and they want to act like they've been there forever. And you can't do that. You got to meet her where she is in her growth and where you are in your growth. Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. There's a $2,000 fine that will be probated. 4 years deferred adjudication, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There is to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. If you provide proof that you've completed it within this year, then the court will count that as your parenting classes. You understand? So how far did you go in school?
I want my cheese.
All right. So what is your goal in life?
I have a full-time job.
All right. Doing
We'll
what?
address that in a second. We'll address that. I know you're freaking out.
Yeah.
We'll address it in just a second.
So what do you want to do with what is the big picture? What is your dream job?
I want to be a substance abuse counselor. That's
All
what
right.
I'm eligible for.
So the court will deduct 100 hours from the community service restitution once you provide proof of completion of parenting classes. The remaining 100 hours will be deducted if you obtain some type of trade school certificate or certification in your field of choice. There's to be no contact with, have you had any contact with Elizabeth Rios?
No.
All right, so there's to be no contact with Elizabeth Rios or Miller Park or 2802 MLK Drive. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Probation, is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
Yes, Judge. And so she does work as a home health care provider. She has worked hard to get this job. I understand. She's worked hard to get this job, and a part of her ability to be successful in her sobriety has been the ability to provide for herself and hopefully pay for this reunification. With permission of her patients, will the court allow her to continue working?
I will consider it, but you have to get a letter from whoever you're caring for. And that letter has to let them know specifically what you're charged with, what you're on probation for. I'm not saying I'll do it, but I'll consider it. And I'm definitely not going to do it if the state is not in agreement with them. Because one of the things, my job is to protect the community, and being around vulnerable persons when you have felonies, that's tough for me. So usually no employment with children or home health care providers. You understand? So for us to even get too close where I would consider it, there needs to be a letter from the employer that you work for who's sending you out, and also a letter from the people that you're providing care for.
And we have provided the letter from the employer. We will provide the specific letters from the patients that she cares for. Is the state in agreement if she has those letters?
Well-
I would have to review them first.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right. Anything else?
we'll do our part.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court? All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right. Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right. So here's the thing. In this court, communication is key. To be successful, you need to stay in contact with probation. If there's an issue, let probation officer know about it. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can come to me. If you ever think that you're about to use, pick up the phone, call your probation officer. They're going to try to get you help. What I can tell you in this court, if people use, all you have to do is pick up probation and say, hey, I think I'm going to use. They're not going to file a motion to revoke. You know what they're going to do? They're going to come to me with the compliance hearing saying, hey, this person thinks they're about to use. What can we do to help them? You understand? But if you don't call them, there's nothing we can do. All right. Good luck to you.
Judge, I did have one additional thing.
Sure.
He resides in Abilene.
Mhm.
And so we would request permission for her probation to be transferred to Abilene.
All right. And what county is that?
Taylor.
I'm sorry.
Taylor.
All right. And then we can do transfer to Taylor
Sorry.
County. No problem. And Abilene. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cox. Thank you, Mr. Cox. She said that she had someone who had a child reunification meeting. So,
No problem.
all right, so we're back on the record. In 2025 CR 006058A, State versus Dorian Camaro. The parties re-announced.
Megan Galloway for the state.
Cornelius Scott for the defendant.
All right, and so we were proceeding with closing arguments, and the defense had reserved their
Yes.
closing. You may proceed, counsel.
Judge, one thing I noticed, most times when the state make their positions on bond, they go, if the person has a prior record, that's one of the first things that court will hear. Nothing, silent. Client doesn't have a prior record. Secondly, it appears that when the original bond was set in this case, the original charge was capital murder.
Mhm.
That charge has been reduced. Go, as everyone knows, capital murder would be, if you were convicted, it would be life without parole, or possibly the death penalty. Not in his case because of his years. So we're not talking about those type of situations. We're actually talking about a first degree. So what I'm asking the court to do in this case is set the bond, which is typically set in a case where there's a first degree. Now, the state proper state exhibit number 1, in even in that proper, it doesn't suggest that my client shot anyone or urged anybody to do that. It appears that the person that is deceased was a person that was allegedly in a vehicle, and it never an indication that my client at all did anything in terms of physically to harm this person. It appears that the perhaps the victim in alleged aggravated robbery actually shot and killed a,
So this is one of those cases, I believe, where you have the alleged defendants in a vehicle and the complainant is alleged to have shot one of the people in the vehicles, but it's also alleged that it was in the process of persons in the vehicle committing an offense. That's one of those Texas rules.
The bond.
Murder, yes.
so you have to do a lot of twisting and turning and maneuvering in terms of understanding. So my position, Judge, is that if it's murder case, first degree, at this point, we just want the bond set where a first degree case would normally be set. And my position is that that is typically around the $100,000 mark, maybe up to $150,000 mark. I'm just asking the court we have a young man who's still in high school, to set it at somewhere in that area, even if the court needs the assurance of a electronic monitor, to have it monitored at all times. And that's fine, that's understandable. We just feel that to keep it, if the state reduces the charge, just with the court, the magistrate originally set it at $500,000 based on allegations of a capital murder. And that case is reduced, then we just feel that the bond should be reduced to what is typical in a first degree situation. And that's all we're asking for, something that's in that.
Okay. All right. So what I can tell parties, and I want to make sure it's clear, because on what I have on the docket sheet, it says capital murder. So it's no longer listed as a capital murder. Is that correct?
That's great.
That's the indictment. Felony murder and count 2 aggravated robbery.
Okay. All right. Anything else to put?
Nothing.
And as a condition of his probation, as a condition of his bond, is one of his conditions already for GPS or no?
Well, the copy that I have, it was a blank copy. So, but I would imagine that would be GPS.
All right, let me I'm trying to look up his conditions of bond. It's not in my system. I don't have that in my Odyssey, at least what I have access to.
When I look at the notes on the viewing of the defendant, it says GPS full house arrest, no contact with the family and paid in full, no firearms, and random drug / alcohol test.
Okay. All right, this is what the court will do. Okay. All right, what I can say is based upon what the court has read and states exhibit number 1, and state, is it correct that this defendant does not have any prior cases? All right, so based upon what the court is reading in states exhibit number 1, based upon the evidence that has been tendered, in just one moment. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to set the bond at $250,000 with all previous conditions to include full GPS. There's to be no contact with Roberto Alejandro Monreal Esteban Torres, the family of Hayden Holt, Dorian, I'm sorry, there is another person. What is Harris's name?
Joseph.
And also Joseph Harris. All right, any other conditions you would like added, State, or are you requesting?
Judge, if I could just see the status of
Yes.
Judge, the conditions that you had Eric's, is that correct?
No, I did not put down Eric. You say Eric? And that's Cepeda with the S?
Yes.
All right, and no contact with Eric Cepeda.
And then one other person, there's juvenile, his last name. If I could just have.
Sure. And Norma, can you give Mr. Camarillo a reset form in case he makes bond? And it should be for July 24th.
That was Eric Cepeda,
Roberto Monreal, Esteban Torres, Joseph Harris, and the family of Hayden Holt.
I believe that's all you're.
All right, anything else?
I have a request
Yes,
for employment,
I'm sorry, what?
for employment.
No. I'm not going to allow you to have employment. You're going to be on full GPS. That means that you have a location and you cannot leave that location. If your family is going, we can go off the record, if your family is going to the Whataburger, or is it Whataburger? I don't know.
What, I think it's
Whataburger,
What?
or Burger King, or wherever they may be, or to HEB, you're not allowed to go. You are staying at whatever location that GPS is at. Do you understand?
Understand?
So if your GPS is for you to be at a specific residence, because you have to have a residence in order to have GPS, you cannot leave that residence. And the way those GPSs are now, they're very sensitive. So what does that mean? If your family is having a cookout in your backyard, you can't go to the backyard to get your plate. They'll have to bring it to you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't go to the mailbox. It's going to go off. And if there's a violation of that GPS, what's going to end up happening? Somebody's going to review the violation report. They're probably going to issue a judge's warrant, and then we will discuss it later and evidence be presented. And if that evidence is enough to show that you violated your GPS, a judge may remand you without bond. Do you understand?
Understand.
All right. Anything else? Thank you.
Oh, you waive the fees on the people.
I'll ask that fees are, now that is an excellent question. I'll ask that fees are waived.
Thank you.
CR 012059, State versus Rosa Ibarra. Can I have parties announced?
Megan Galway for the state.
Joseph Davidson covering for Monica Guerrero, and we give this court permission for me to do this in place of Ms. Guerrero.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And are you Ms. Ibarra?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Ibarra, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ibarra, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ibarra, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain paid with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 22 months in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine, no applications. The state will take in consideration 2024 PF 12276, and there's restitution of $180 to DPS. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
Plead offer states one in attachment.
No objection.
State, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We asked that you follow the agreement. We gave her credit for her back time that she served.
All right.
Ran the money concurrent at the time.
All right, the court will sentence you to 22 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrently. Take in consideration 2024 PF 12276. There's $180 restitution to DPS, and I request the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community doesn't increase your time in custody, but it is to help you with any type of controlled substance abuse you may have. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about that, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So here's the thing. If you use drugs, only one of two things going to end up happening if you don't stop. Either you're going to find yourself living the majority of your time in somebody's jail or at somebody's prison, or either somebody's going to end up identifying your body. Those are only two choices with drugs, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you're released from the state jail facility, if you can't find a place that can help you with your addiction, if I'm here, you come back here, I'll pick up the phone, call somebody to get you the help you need. All right. You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. Who's here on Christopher Guerrero? I didn't know your client was on bond. I was like, anybody who has somebody on bond, let's take them up. All right. There's an application in this case or no?
There is, Judge.
Okay. Court is calling 2025 CR 003-046, State versus Christopher Anthony Guerrero. Can I have parties announce?
In comparison, state.
Joanne Nickel for Mr. Guerrero.
Are you Mr. Guerrero?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Guerrero? All right, we're going to go off the record. All right, we're back on the record. All right, Mr. Guerrero, did you review the application for community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guerrero, did you review court admonishments and defendant's waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated third or more? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call them the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerrero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine and state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 8 years. There'll be 200 hours of community service restitution, 2-year driver's license suspension, ignition interlock for the full term, and 60 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Containing exhibit 1 and attachments.
No objection, Judge.
All right, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses? The state will call them the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Containing exhibit 1 and attachments.
No objection, Judge.
All right, did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses? The state will call them the right to remain silent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing? All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I guess in regard to the plea bargain agreement, I'd like the court to be aware that my client spent 4 months in jail prior to making bond on this offense. And ask the court to run his probation CC. He's currently on probation for a misdemeanor offense. He's already done a TAP evaluation. He's taking the victim impact panel class.
And what is the cause number for the case you're asking that it run concurrently with? Is that one of the cases in the indictment?
I believe it is. Yes.
Is that the April 24 case? 2024?
Yes, that's it, Judge.
All right, so for the record, that cause number is 72460. And I'm sorry, counsel, what else were you saying?
That my client is starting outpatient treatment on Thursday.
Oh, anything else?
Yes.
He's also
And
employed,
working.
Judge. Yeah, he has a full-time job.
All right, what do you do for a living?
Landscaping.
I'm sorry, what?
Landscaping.
All right, why do you keep drinking and driving? Obviously, you're a person who can't drink alcohol because you don't know when to stop.
Man, I was hanging out with the wrong people, Judge, and I'm glad I got that out of my life. You know, I'm spending 4 months in there, just, you know.
No, so let me just tell you, when people come before me and they say they were hanging out with the wrong people, AP2, who's listening here, the person who was the passenger who was too drunk to ride, guess what? If they were before me charging with a DWI, you know what they tell me? Judge, I was hanging out with the wrong people. And I would say, well, who are the wrong people? And they would say, you are the wrong people. So how old are you?
I'm 25.
All right, so you're old enough to know better. So it's not you hanging out with the wrong people. You have an alcohol problem and you can't stop drinking. And yes.
That just like ever since I got out, you know, I've been sober 7 months already. So, you know, I'm not looking back no more.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that you're sober, but when you think about it, you had a DWI from 2021 and then another DWI in 2024 of April. And now you're back with another DWI in November 2024. So I'm trying to figure out what you need to maintain your sobriety, because spending the 48 days in jail, you know, that's usually, I never want to see that again. I never want that to happen again. But obviously you've been in jail before because you have 3 DWIs.
But, you know, I have family, you know, do it, and I don't do it just for myself. You know, I need to be, you know, out and do right, you know, and that's what I'm going for. You know?
And who is this family?
It's my girl and my stepson and my brother and my dad as well. So.
All right. So in 2021, Was your girlfriend in your life?
No,
Was she in your life in 2024 when you had DWI second?
no. At this
So
time,
just since this time.
in this time, trying to change, and trying to do right. I don't want to go back, and that's what I'm aiming for success. And I think I could be a great member to the society.
All right. And how did you get here today?
I got dropped off, but
All right. I'm not going to allow him to drive until further notice. He needs to prove to me that he can make the appropriate decisions to be able to even have an occupational license, because your license is going to be suspended. And also that you can be trusted to make the correct decisions. All right. The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. This is run concurrent with 724620. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be 2-year license suspension. There's to be no driving until further notice. Do you have a vehicle?
no,
All right. Who do you stay with?
I stay with my girlfriend.
Does she have a vehicle?
No, she doesn't.
So there's no vehicle at your home.
No, I tell my brother to pick me up and drop me off. It's mine.
All right. There's going to be a portable alcohol monitoring device with affidavit of non-driving. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Does anybody want to address the elephant in the room, that is the 60 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition that's being requested by the state?
Well, Judge, as I already told the court, he spent 4 months in jail already before he made bond on this case. We would ask the court to take that into consideration if the court assesses the 60 days to give him credit for time served.
All right. These are your choices. This is your only choice with regards to the 60 days. You can spend 10 days on GPS, full house arrest. Or if you need to work, then you can spend 30 days on GPS, partial for work.
I gotta work. I can do 30 days.
All right. So we'll do 30 days GPS partial for employment only.
Oh, I have a question. For outpatient, would they let me go? Because
Yeah.
I gotta go off.
They will.
Okay.
Can the court waive his fee, Judge?
I mean, I'll put it in there, but in order to do the waiver probation with the waiving fees of GPS, does that have to be through the jail?
Yes.
So he'll have to go pick it up at the jail. All right, so just so the record is clear, GPS partial for employment and treatment, waive GPS fees. Are you doing any sober support meetings?
No.
All right. There's going to be 90 sober support meetings in 90 days.
And I had another question, Judge. I gotta show up to my probation as well. They'll let me do that as well.
Yeah, they will. And Miss Abrams, I'm going to do a referral to felony drug court. I just want you to know what the program is about. I think it would be beneficial for you if they accept you. It's a very difficult program, but you're going to need a lot of help to successfully complete this probation and to get a little bit of a control on your addictions and not start making the right choices as to drinking. You understand? So if they accept you, then you should probably do it. But I'm not going to order you to do it because I know you have a lot on your plate, but that would be very beneficial for you. Probation, is there anything else? Thank you. Proof of employment within 40 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. To be successful on probation here, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If you feel that they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court and address it with me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other thing, you say you want to be in your girlfriend's life, you want to be a good stepfather. Everything you do from here on out, you should have the tools you need. For example, if you think you're going to drink, pick up the phone, call your sponsor. If you're going to drink, think you're going to drink, pick up the phone, call your probation officer. You understand? Because from here on out, everything that you do, you need to be asking yourself, could this result in me potentially going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. You understand? All right, good luck to you. Who's here on Silgario?
Santos.
Yes. Okay. Court is calling 2025 CR 005704, State versus Santos Silguero. Could I have parties announced?
Vivian Gallery, Brett State.
And Ron Ross for defendant.
And are you Mr. Silguero?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
I have, Judge.
And did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Silguero, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Please, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you understand you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you are giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? All right, no gum chewing. Oh, don't swallow it. They say that messes up your intestines. That's what was our fear as children. All right. Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Silguero, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you into this plea?
Mm,
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $1,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2024 PF 19499, and there's to be restitution payable to the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
It is, Judge.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, no contact with the complainant, the MRT, no possession of firearms, and the job readiness course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
State offer states one an attachment.
No objections, Judge.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
You are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I do, Judge. Santos is 17 at the time of the offense, he's now 18. Just before that, his mother and father broke up and his family moved to New Mexico, Clovis, New Mexico. And he was kind of struggling at that time. His whole family moved there. He unknowingly, I guess, he spending some time in New Mexico. I said, did you get permission? He did from the bondsman. I said, from the court, no, you're supposed to have permission. But he obtained a job when he was there working in a cheese factory. And so, he doesn't have any priors. I don't know what this offense, I think the police report noted when they approached him, he was just kind of stunned and dazed. I don't know if he's got some problems, but he tells me one time he was at this court. I think I wasn't here or came late. In the hallway, he had a seizure and they had to take him to the hospital. So I don't know how that affects anything, but I would ask the court to consider his youthfulness, first time offense, and even deferred and allow him to transfer to New Mexico if the probation would do that. So he can be near his family, he can have a supportive family.
All right, so why did you do this?
I really don't have no excuse. My mother and father had just divorced, and my father had got locked up in prison, and I really didn't have no one to look up to. I just got mixed up with the wrong crowd. I know it's not an excuse, but
No, it's not.
I just don't understand. I was just in a bad spot, and no one to lean on.
Well, see, here's the thing about all of this. Number one, so hanging around with the only with bad people, you're the only person in the vehicle. That's not yours.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the officers ask you to pull over. I've seen other people end up being shot and killed. They just tased you, and they had to tase you more than once. And then you still took off in the vehicle after they had tased you. Because I was wondering from reviewing the police report, I said, why is there an EKG in this police report? It is just an unauthorized use. It's an EKG for you. So you're going to have to turn your life around. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself at the prison or somewhere else. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what county are you in New Mexico?
Curry County.
Sorry,
Curry County.
is that Kerry?
CUR.
Oh, Curry. Okay.
Clovis, New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
And who are you staying with while you're here?
My grandma. Oh, here.
Yes.
I have no one here.
Well, I mean,
Who are you staying with them?
I'm here with my grandmother right now.
okay. And the reason why I asked that question is because I will grant your request to transfer, but probation will tell you you're not allowed to go there until you've actually been granted permission from probation to do so, because there are different legal standards that need to be met in order for you to be transferred, and the state has to accept that transfer. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
I graduated high school.
All right. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Get in a position where I could own my own business and don't have to work anymore.
All right. So what does that mean? What type of business do you want to own?
My father had already owned a bounty house business. I was thinking about just taking that over.
So you're going to be a bounty hunter?
Bounty house entertainment.
Oh, bounty house entertainment. Okay. I was like, bounty hunter. What? Okay. So what are you doing to make that happen?
I'm working right now.
But what are you doing towards reaching that goal?
I'm working. I move with my family. I move with the right crowd. I'm not around anyone that I was when I made those mistakes or anything like that. I'm not doing any of that nonsense anymore.
All right. So this is what I mean when I say, what are you doing? For example, if I want to become a court reporter and somebody said, oh, that's your dream, great dream. What are you doing towards that? And I would say, well, I've gone to courts and I've talked to court reporters, Cindy. And Cindy has said, hey, Stephanie, if you really want to be a court reporter, you got to go to school. And it may be, I can't afford it. So I say, I'm at my job. I found out that it takes, let's just say hypothetically, it takes $10,000 to go to court reporting school. So I'm working double shifts and I've decided that I'm going to set aside $200 out of my paycheck every time, so that this is how long it will take me to pay my money to go to court reporting school. So it's great to have hopes and dreams, but you have got to start writing down, this is my goal. And you say your goal is to own an entertainment business. Then you need to come up with a business plan. Like, okay, is this going to be brick and mortar? Where am I going to have it? How much is it going to cost? How I'm going to attract business to me? And when I say the entertainment, what does that mean? Am I booking DJs and getting gigs for them? Those are all things that you need to figure out. Otherwise, you're just doing dreams and they're not going anywhere. And when you look up, half of your life is going to be gone and you're going to be talking to somebody under the shade tree where they used to do shade tree mechanics. And you're going to be telling them about, hey, I always wanted to do this. You understand? All right. This is what the court is going to do. There's a $1,000 fine that will be probated. 4 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 2024 PF 19499. A transfer to Kerry County in New Mexico. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Maybe marijuana.
See, you got to get your life together. Using marijuana is not, hey, I'm hanging out with the wrong crowds. That's all 100% you. So make sure on the regular random UAs, he's tested for levels. Proof of employment within 40 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. There's to be no contact with and restitution to Saulo, Saulo, Lastra, Lastra, 200 hours of community service restitution. 50 hours will be waived upon completion of the MRT. And the remaining 150 hours will be waived if you obtain some type of trade school certification or higher level of education. Probation, is there anything else? Yeah, within 40 days. No problem.